Hello friends, welcome back again to SkTechGuide to another interesting topic which is related to passing the data between components in our Angular application. So in this video basically we are going to learn about how you can send the data between the parent component to child component. Okay. So there are two things basically. Before I start, let me tell you. So we have when you say that sending the data between the components, then we have sending the data from parent component to child component as well as from child component to parent component. That will be a two-way communication between the component to component. So for this particular video, we are going to cover today is that how you are going to pass between parent component to child component. Okay, and in the next video we will cover child component to parent component communication. Okay, so in our Angular application, to pass the data between parent component to child component, Angular provided one of the decorator which is called as input decorator. Okay, let me jump to Visual Studio Code and show you the live demo for this, how you can send the data between. You understand that using this input decorator we can send the data. So how you are going to send the data, let me quickly jump to the demo. Okay, we are here now. So I am in my one of my demo project, which is basically a simple application where you can see here we have a home component. Okay, we have basically we have here we have two component. One is home component, another is navbar component. Okay, so and our default component is there, app component HTML. Okay, so inside our home component, so the home component basically what it has, home component only have this homeworks, and it is rendering the app navbar component. So that what does it mean? So whenever you render any component inside in your inside in your component classes, for example my home component is rendering the app navbar component. That means app navbar component is a child component for the home component. You understand that, right? So for so what we can do here is that we can pass the data from where, from home component to app navbar component. Okay, so home component is a parent component, and now we are going to pass the data. So how we are going to pass the data? What is the scenario basically? If I talk about the scenario, so in real time what happen is that you define your component, and inside your component you define lots of variable and properties, and you want to use that property inside another component. Okay, so it will be any component you want to use. Then that component you define inside you are rendering through your parent component. So so to render that particular component, you suppose need to send the data you suppose need to send the data from the parent component to the child component, right? So for that reason basically we use that. Okay, so here in our application we don't have much variable over here. We have only one variable which is the total count, and which is a number type, and which define the number as 20. And what I can do for our demo purpose, what I can do is that I can pass this total count to our child component to catch that value, that to get that value inside the child component. So here already we defined we already defined a variable called as total count, and this total count in your real time you may have multiple variable as well which you want to send. You can send it. So here what we can do is that I can just take this total count. So we are going to send this to the app navbar component, right? So we can jump into the app navbar component, and what we can do is that here we can create a inside this tag we can create a property for that particular variable. So we can define inside our square bracket. Okay, square bracket you can give any name. So I am giving from parent, suppose. Okay, from parent. Okay, from parent then I am giving the value. What is the value? What is our variable name? Total count, right? total count. Okay, we got it. So now the now our child component has that properties where it is getting the data of the total count. Okay, it is now, it is up to this, it is clear, right? So now the problem is that how you are going to cache this particular property inside your app navbar component, which is your child component, right? So let's move to the app navbar component, and to open that particular, to get that particular value inside our navbar component, what we can do is that inside our app navbar component we need to define a input, right? Input decorator. The input decorator input module is provided by Angular core. Okay, so before to use that input decorator, we need to import that module, right, which is nothing but your input module. So let me import this input module is imported. Now what I can do is that I can write this input decorator brackets, then I can give the exact same name. Don't do the mistake, whatever the name you given the inside your parent component, the exact same name you can define there, right? From parent I can copy this, and the name will, the variable name will be the from parent, and this will be a number type, right? Number type, yeah. So the same type you need to define. So it is saying that we need to define some default value, so I just defined some default value. Fine. Now it is clear. So we get that value from the we got that value from our parent component. Now access this value inside our app navbar component HTML. So in the below I can write here, I can put one h1 tag, and we can access that value from parent component. Now how you can access? You can double curly bracket, right? So here you can write from parent. Okay, so now our build is complete. Let me open my browser to see the value. Okay, browser, yeah. So you can see now the result from parent component, we are getting the value as 20. One quick thing here, so what we can do is that we can just update this update the value from inside our parent component, and we see the data. So we are just having this 20 as our input. So let me update to 50, and we can see that we can save it. Okay, so let me jump into our application. You can see the from parent component we are getting the value as 50, right? So friends, in this way basically you can communicate your inside in between your components, like from the parent component to, if you have parent component and you are accessing you are providing the value to the child component, then in this way you can basically pass that value, and inside the child component you will get that value. So the key takeaway from this particular video is that so you understand, you learn about this input decorator. So where this input decorator will be defined? Input decorator will define inside your child class, right? So to cache that value, because from the parent component you passed it, right? Using the square bracket you pass that value, and there is we don't need that over there. So but to get that value, basically you pass that value from your parent component, right? To using from that tag, but to get that value inside the child component you need to declare the input decorator with the variable name, same variable name which you define inside your child component tag. You need to define the same variable name and the data type. Then that value, whatever you are getting inside, or whatever updated happen inside your parent component, you will automatically get that value inside your child component. Okay, that's it, friend. So hope this video help you to understand this better about this communication. So in the next video we are probably going to talk about our child component to parent component. We see that how we can transfer data between child component to parent component. So if you like this video, just do like, subscribe, and if you have any comment, just don't forget to give your comment, or any doubt you have, just let me know inside the comment. I can give you the solution. Thank you everyone.